barely keep track of his own shoelaces, let alone the intricate logistics of an entire naval base. He would classify a stapler as a weapon of mass destruction. No, no, no. He's a boob. Yes, Quickstep is a boob. A complete, utter, unadulterated boob. He'd probably salute a coconut and then file a formal report on its insubordination. I'm appointing you the acting base commander, McGinty. Sir, you shall bear the mantle of command in my absence. Consider a promotion or a curse, depending on your perspective, you rascal. He punctuated his pronouncement with a triumphant, albeit shaky, fist pump, enjoying the visible consternation on Finn's face. Finn McGinty's casual grin, a fixture of his face, a symbol of his generally laid-back attitude, finally faltered, replaced by a look of genuine, unfeigned horror. His jaw dropped, and he felt a cold knot form in his stomach, a sudden, heavy dread. Me? Oh, come on, Commodore. You must be kidding. With all due respect, sir. With every fiber of my being and every last ounce of my limited common sense. The last thing this atoll, this glorious bastion of Allied power, needs is me in command of anything more complex than a particularly unruly fishing line. My talents lie in the chaotic art of PT boat skirmishes. Sir, not the tedious ballet of administrative oversight. I am a man of action, sir, not paper pushing. It goes against my very nature. I'd set the base on fire by accident trying to file a requisition. Bumble, now fully committed to his theatrical performance, rose from the cot with a surprising burst of frantic energy that would have put a man half his age to shame and glared directly into Finn's eyes, wobbling slightly for added effect, as if overcome by a sudden gust of invisible, feverish wind. McGinty, take a good look at me. Observe my fevered brow, my trembling hand. My very life force is draining. Away with every breath. Does this look like the face of a man who's kidding? I tell you, I am on the verge of dissolution, of ultimate collapse, of utter demise. Fine. Maintaining a straight face despite the almost irresistible urge to burst out laughing at Bumbles. Dramatic antics matched Bumbles' intense gaze, his own eyes serious, though a faint twitch at the corner of his mouth betrayed his true feelings. No, sir, it certainly does not, sir. It looks, if I may be so bold, sir, like the face of a man who has consumed entirely too much spicy chowder. But, Commodore, with all due respect, I must ask you to perform the same courtesy. Take a good look at me, sir. He gestured dramatically to his perpetually unbuttoned collar, revealing a surprising amount of tan chest hair, to the wild tangle of his dark, wind-swept hair, the slight smirk playing at the corner of his lips, and the faint, lingering scent of brine and illicit pineapple rum that always seemed to cling to him like a second skin. Do I look like a base commander? Sir, does my very essence radiate administrative acumen? Do I exude an aura of rigid, uncompromising discipline? I think not, sir. I'm a sailor, a fighting man, a warrior of the waves. Sir, not a desk jockey. I cause more chaos than the Nips if left in charge of paperwork. Ensign Pip Percival Plimpton III, who had followed Finn into the office, his anxiety levels already spiking from the general air of chaos and Bumble's dramatic pronouncements, couldn't help but blurt, "He's got you there, Wally." He immediately clapped a hand over his mouth, turning bright scarlet, realizing his grievous error in addressing the Commodore so informally. He shrank slightly, anticipating instant demotion, perhaps even a public flogging with a wet noodle or forced duty sorting rusted nails. No, sir. No. Easy does it, sir. Finn quickly interjected, trying desperately to smooth things over, to prevent Plimpton's certain demise. Now, look, Commodore, I'm a saltwater skipper. Sir, my soul is forged in brine and sea spray. My destiny lies upon the waves. I'd be no good behind a desk. I'd drown in paperwork. Sir, literally, my spirit would wither. I'd be worse than useless, sir. A total administrative wreck, a veritable black hole of efficiency. He even performed a little pantomime of struggling to swim through towering stacks of imaginary forms, flapping his hands helplessly, gurgling in a comically pathetic manner, hoping to appeal to Bumble's dramatic sensibilities. Bumble, however, was impervious. His focus remained laser-sharp on Finn, his malicious joy untempered. "McGinty, I wouldn't think of asking you to take on a big assignment like this gargantuan administrative burden. Without some help, that would be inhumane. That would be positively barbaric. You need a crutch. McGinty, a suitable lackey to manage the administrative trifles, and the endless stream of paperwork that will surely overwhelm you. So, I'm appointing Plimpton here, acting executive officer. Consider it a steep learning curve for the young man, and a perfect distraction from your more anarchic tendencies, your insufferable penchant for rule-breaking and chaos." Ensign Pip Percival Plimpton III, whose career aspirations rarely extended beyond successfully completing a spreadsheet without any critical errors, maintaining impeccable penmanship, and perhaps one day earning a medal for consistent pencil sharpening, nearly fainted on the spot, his face turning an even more ghastly shade of pale, a faint green tinge to his lips. He clutched his chest, his eyes wide as saucers. "Oh, boy! Did you hear that, Skipper?" he squeaked, his voice cracking with disbelief, his legs threatening to give way. Acting executive officer. Me, a man of limited experience, prone to clerical errors. "Oh, thanks. Commodore, you'll never regret this. I think, I hope I don't set anything on fire, sir, or lose the entire base budget to a rogue pigeon who absconds with the paperwork." Bumble merely waved his hand grandly, a dismissive flick of the wrist. I know. It's a risk I'm willing to take. Plimpton, a necessary sacrifice for the greater good of seeing McGinty squirm. Here you are. McGinty, take this." He thrust a battered clipboard, overflowed with inscrutable paperwork and stained with ancient coffee rings, and an ancient, rusty ceremonial cutlass, usually reserved for a highly official, rarely occurring, and completely ignored flag-raising ceremonies. At Finn, "You go over to my office, your office now, and you take command this minute. Do you hear me? McGinty? This minute. That's an order. Commander, and don't you dare track mud onto my pristine linoleum, which I personally supervise the waxing of, with the utmost meticulousness. I will know if you do." "Oh, but Commodore, sir," Finn began, still trying to grasp the enormity of this calamity, this calculated sabotage of his relaxed command style, this intricate trap designed to ensnare him in a web of bureaucracy. "Out, out, out, out!" Bumble shrieked, shooing them from his office with the fervor of a man swatting a particularly bothersome, buzzing fly, flapping his hands wildly, his eyes blazing with a mixture of triumph and malice. "Now, quick step, my loyal aide. You know what to do. My cot needs plump in. My pillows need fluffing. My very constitution needs a long, luxurious period of convalescing, and a cold compress, and perhaps some more of those medicinal concoctions to ensure my delirium is sustained, and utterly convincing for Admiral Jawbreaker." Finn and Plimpton stumbled out, still reeling from the unexpected promotion and the sheer, unmitigated absurdity of the situation. They made their way to Bumble's former office, which, by dint of Bumble's pronouncement, was now Finn's temporary seat of power. The moment they stepped inside, a mere foot over the threshold, the field phone, a rusty, temperamental beast of a contraption, began to ring again, insistent and shrill, as if celebrating their arrival with a discordant fanfare. "Oh, just a minute. Lieutenant, just a minute," Finn mumbled to himself. Try and make sense of the new command, the new responsibilities, the sudden, overwhelming weight of the world on his shoulders. He ran a hand through perpetually messy hair, feeling a new wrinkle form on his brow. He gestured vaguely to Plimpton, who was already meticulously lining up the Commodore's paperweights, a nervous tick. "You're acting base commander now, Pip. What do we do about this infernal shrill noise? It sounds like a dying banshee trapped in a tin can." Before Plimpton could even begin to process this new wave of responsibility, before he could consult any of his mental manuals, a grizzled, unkempt head popped into the doorway, a cigar clamped firmly between its teeth. It was Sergeant Rocky Ridgeback, Finn's tough-as-nails veteran crewman, a man whose natural habitat was a machine gun turret, not an office, but whose loyalty to Finn was absolute. "Yeah, Chief, they're saying the what? The sinks are still plugged up, and the petty officers are well. What do you want from me? A get-well card. I'm not a concierge for plumbing complaints. I'm a combat specialist, not a glorified janitor." Finn, attempting to mimic Bumble's air of exasperated authority, barked into the phone, his voice a surprising imitation of the Commodore's growl. "Hold it! Chief, hold it! Can't you see I'm on the phone? Engaging in top-secret strategic communications for the welfare of the entire Allied effort? Yeah, I know, Skipper, but He paused, his eyes widening as Rocky presented him with something. "Well, what do you got there, Rocky? Is it some new experimental munition? Another piece of Japanese intelligence? A secret weapon? For winning the war, perhaps?" Rocky, oblivious to the high-stakes drama unfolding, and simply